Hi everyone, so last video review for this week is for London Actually by Clare Lydon, which came out I think 24th of October, so I was reading the arc just a little bit later, but that's what I've been reading this week. So if you'd like to check out my Goodreads review, it's just a little bit further down the page. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, it is in the description below. So London Actually is part of the London series by Clare Lydon. I have only read one other book in this series, which was The London of Us, and I really enjoyed it. So when Claire sent out the art copies for London Actually, I knew it was something that I wanted to read, and I was really excited to read it as well, to have a copy and to be able to read it. So this week I was reading along, so if you've been reading along with reading updates, you'll know what great time I've been had reading it, because there's something about Claire's writing. It's very comical, but it has a lot of depth and meaning as well. So the London series, the two that I've now read, I can see what it is that she's got in there that makes her writing so brilliant. The story centres around two characters who meet by coincidence at a friend / relative's wedding, because it's a friend of one but a relative of the other, and they go out dancing and drinking and having a great time afterwards, because Cleo, who's the older of the two characters, her brother's a bit down on love because his marriage has gone a bit sour, and he was at this wedding and he was making a big show of himself, sort of saying how much he hates love and everything. And Cleo's been divorced. Now that was interesting, because as a character goes, like, to have been divorced, then be at this wedding, and then be sort of like swearing off diving into any more relationships or doing anything, like, she just really wasn't bothered. And Becca, who was there, was abstaining for a year. So it was an interesting dynamic to have the two of them together. And then the big sort of like thing for them is they end up working together. So they had no idea they were going to end up working together, and it complicates things. It's a professional working relationship again, and it's like, I can't and I won't. And Cleo's been scorned before by someone a lot younger than her, so she's sort of like, I'm not doing it again, never again, never again. Of course, Becca's younger than her, so there's two conflicts for Cleo. She's a very complex character as it is, but then she's got these two conflicts. Does she really want to get hurt? Becca's younger. Two very, like, she said she'd never go with anyone younger again, so there's a very, like, and Becca's got this spark, and she knows she's had fun with Becca. Like, she went out with Becca that night and they had fun, knowing, like, nothing planned, nothing, you know, malice about it. They were just going out to have fun after this wedding. Enjoyed each other's company, found themselves at work together, and then, you know, Cleo's technically her boss. So it had that workplace romance going on. There was a lot of conflict in there for Cleo to deal with. There was a lot of humour throughout the book as well, which I found great. Cleo's friend Heidi is definitely one for adding to the humour, and she featured quite a bit in the book. She's a photographer, so she does a lot of wedding photography, and Becca also has a side sort of job as a wedding planner. So that'll basically, every element in Claire's book goes together in an unexpected, unconventional way for you as a reader, and as the story unfolds you discover all this, and you discover it with Claire's excellent humour in her writing. The way she writes these characters is just absolutely amazing. The comical timing, and it's very important in writing to be able to get comical timing right, and Claire just gets it. It's perfect, it's spot on. There was a lot of chapters in this book, which threw me at first. I thought, wow, it's gonna be the longest book, and I didn't really understand how, because there wasn't a lot of pages in it. So like, it's not got as many pages as I would expect, but it's got a lot of chapters. But they were each like perfectly timed chapters, made it really easy to read as well, which I really liked. So you had 49 chapters, but like I say, really easy to read, because they weren't long chapters. They kept little snippets of time, and they gave you a lot to think about in that snippet. It's really exciting, like really, really exciting in terms of the bits you were being fed throughout the story. You were getting a bit at a time and a bit at a time, and then a lot of it was thoughts of Cleo or thoughts of Becca and how they were going to do this, because they knew they wanted to be together. But there was so much riding on it, you know, for both of them. Like, there was such complexities in their setups. Like with Cleo, with the whole no one younger and I'm her boss, and then Becca with the whole I've said I'm not having a relationship for a year and I want to stick to it. They go to Boston. They're in London, the title. They go to Boston for a work thing, and that's where everything really starts to blossom for them, and that's where they really start having all the complication. But the complication is just brilliant. It just adds to the fun of the story, and it adds to the fun of whether they're going to put their differences aside and sort this out and make it work, because it really does work, or whether you're going to be really frustrated with them in the end. So I really loved that about it. It was a great read, comical like I expected, fits in this London series brilliantly, and it is a great series for what I've read of it so far, and I can't wait to check out more of it. So that's London Actually by Clare Lydon. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy. If you've read it, please let me know what you thought of it. If you're going to read it again, or if it's on your to read list, I'd love to know. And if you do grab a copy of it, I really hope you have a lot of fun reading it and a great time and just really enjoy it. Bye!